Okay.
How would you describe the vibe for today? Is it better than usual for an open
I think
practice?
Normal, to be honest with you. Good energy. It was all great. First day, guys are excited. They put a lot of work in this summer. They were anxious to get going. Challenge them there at the end is that now it's about sustaining for 25 practices, the same type of energy, focus, and that kind of thing. So, felt good about it.
Anybody a couple players that caught your eye physically at all from the off-season workouts?
Oh, a good amount of them. I do think that the defensive line is a spot where guys have grown, and even these younger guys, think about Takari and watching Quincy out there and how Matthias is coming along and their bodies continue to change. I think Jack Valiant looks good. Gabe Milborn, body type wise, again, just off of one day, but those guys look good.
And Josh Gray looked like he put on about 15 or 20 pounds. Is that?
I think he's solid, yeah. I mean, he knows his body, he knows what it takes, and counting on him obviously have a big year for us, and then his leadership, and he's doing a lot of the right things.
DJ seemed a lot more comfortable today maybe than he looked in the spring. What did you see?
Yeah, I think for the first day, there's no question, just at the line of scrimmage. Put a lot of work into it in the summer, which we anticipated. There was going to be a learning curve in the spring. Made some strides during the summer. I think it showed up. I think all three guys who got reps today, Aiden and Ben, did some good stuff.
Coach, what's it mean to you to look over and see that stadium complete and ready to go?
Yeah, that's part of this excitement. It has been a heavy lift and a lot of work, and a lot of people contributed to it. But now that we're so close to the finish line, it's big time.
Lots going on in college football, but I think maybe the big thing today, Mike Parker's 65th birthday.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, 65, the legend of our place. There is a lot going on, but he is one to be celebrated.
How do you feel like Trent has taken on this challenge and kind of not rebuilding the defense, but there's a lot going on. What needs to be?
Yeah,
It's not like last year where you had a lot of veterans.
No question that we lost some pieces, and that's what college football is. That's why continue to be fired up about this staff. So each year is going to be a little bit new. Each year is going to have a set of challenges and opportunities, and not just that side of the ball. The same way, on special teams and offense. And so I think Trent's just like he does everything, he's attacking it with a great mindset.
How do you feel about the depth of running back with Jam leaving?
Yeah, that's not ideal, but we do got three guys. It's better than having just two or something. We got three guys we feel awesome about carrying the ball. And then it's just opportunity for Gavin and Reichel.
Can you talk about Riley Sharp, his development, how he looks to you?
Yeah, I think he, in the spring, he flashed in a new position and all of that. Still another guy that has great leadership on this team, smart, physical, can catch it, runs a little better than maybe we anticipated. And so he's got some competition in that room now. I mean, there's a lot of guys in that tighter room that have played, that are good players. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Jonathan, how are we feeling about Alton heading into the year?
I'm sorry?
On Alton Julian?
Oh, yeah. He's moving around better and better. I still don't think he's 100%, but he needs to get out here and put some work in. He's been working at it. We're optimistic that he'll get back to a place where he's a really, really good player. He's just at practice one, not quite there. Hopefully when we get later in fall camp.
What would you like from some of those new faces in the secondary getting bigger reps now?
Yeah, counting on it. I think Noble Thomas has made huge strides, and playing himself into a factor here through spring, summer, and now where he's at. And then first day for a lot of these new guys, and we'll have to watch the tape before we dive into exacts.
Obviously, there's a lot of turnover every year, but it seems like every year you've coached here, there's been a QB battle for the most part. Do you ever get tired of coming into camp not knowing who that number one is?
Nah, I wouldn't describe it as tired. It's ideal to have a guy turn into a 4-year starter or something, but each year we've liked it in regards to competition. I think in ways it's good for our team to recognize an important position. It's always a competition, just like we try to create at every spot.
Coach, you talked about rebuilding the offense more to have a more dynamic passing game this coming season. How do you think that transition's been kind of coming along, going from more of a rushing attack to a more balanced attack to passing attack?
Well, it's been a point of emphasis that we do want to play a balanced style offensively. In which way, again, going off last year, the ability to run the ball, we want to be able to have a few more explosives in this pass game, put a point of emphasis through the spring and summer, and it's coming along. And again, if we can attack on both sides of it, that's great. But when you get into these games, if one way's working, we're going to stick with it.
Talking about the receiving game and how many pieces you guys have obviously had to replace, the receiving core is one of them. Who are you really seeing stepping up right now to be the starters right now that's kind of really impressed you this summer camp and right now during that first game?
Well, I think the first three guys that stand out are guys that have done some things already. Anthony Gould, Silas Bolden, Josiah Irish. And then we're going to see how it sorts out kind of after those guys. But coming into camp, we're counting on those three in a big way.
Any injuries? I mean, you saw a handful of guys go in there to work out. I mean, anybody that you expect?
Not long term.
Okay.
I just got a quick report on a couple of guys, and then first practice they're going. It's a little bit hotter, so nothing of major concern right now.
And then Trevon Bradford and Kyrie Fisher out here, are they grad
They're
assistants
going
or are they just
to
helping
be a
out?
part of the program.
Okay.
Currently, they're in the recruiting side. Bradford's doing a little bit of helping us out because Torrey Gill's still here.
Okay.
But he's got an awesome opportunity. He's working with the Raiders for the next about week, and so Bradford's helping out while he's gone.
Okay.
Did all the freshmen report?
Yeah, I think so.
Just wanna make sure.
And
What
you
do think of the
expect?
way where your schedule breaks down, and how unusual is it to have every game in the Pacific time zone until the game in Boulder in November?
All right, I hadn't put a lot of thought into that. I mean, the schedule, it's so far down the road. We like our home schedule. We've got some challenging things on the road, challenging opponents at home. Definitely anxious to open up Reeser here early September.
You expecting to add maybe a defensive lineman here in the next week or so?
We're always looking to, see where we're at. It's obviously getting pretty late, but this day and age, you can add 365 days a year now.
We've got to ask, but obviously all the talk has been about realignment. What do you feel like? What's your reaction to all the talk? And it seems like Oregon State's kind of been left off of a lot of those conversations. Do you feel like you guys feel overlooked?
There's a lot of talk. That's why there's some beauty to be able to just get started with what we currently got going. Day one of a schedule that we know, and we're so excited about that. And it seems like the talk continues. The narrative changes almost by the day. I haven't been on my phone today to see what the new narrative is.
Any concern that the off the field news would distract your players at all?
Look, they're following it and watching it. We'll talk about it as we go through camp. I think it's actually going to be something of motivation that they know what we've got right in front of us, and that's what we want to be focused on anyways.
How would you contrast your first camp here with today? How much different is it?
Well, quite a bit different. I mean, again, you've been doing it now for multiple years. You just learn a bunch, experience. Obviously, it's beneficial to have the continuity we've had with majority of the coaches and support and all of that. So drastically different. I think both camps, you're still so excited about it. That ain't changed of diving into a new season.
Jonathan, how do you feel about the competition at right guard? We saw Tanner Miller get a good run out there first, but is that kind of going to be open with Marco out for the year?
Yeah, that'll be pretty competitive, and really we're going to push all those guys to continue to improve their game. Henley and Josh Gray and Tolley and Jake Levingood, and there is some beauty of having some experience to where maybe we can lighten a little load on, say, a guy like Joshua Gray or Levingood and rotate some other guys to get them opportunities to show what they can do.
How do you mentioned earlier about the grind, 25 days of practice. How do you keep this motivation level up?
Yeah, you just continue to remind them. You're counting on leadership within the team, of your leaders that have been around the block and experienced it and know how important it is. It's not easy, man. We're going to push these guys, and it's not just physically. We're going to push them mentally and all that, but the best can do it.
Have you talked to Marco at all about whether he might pursue a medical red shirt and stay around? Or?
Not in detail. Really haven't. This was obviously pretty tough and it's still pretty new. We've asked him to obviously stay engaged and be around and be the leader that he can be.
Yeah.
Today it seemed like the quarterbacks were really looking for your tight ends. What have you seen out of that group so far?
Yeah, it's a little bit day one install, and maybe the ball kind of went that way. We want to distribute it to those guys and the receivers, but after just one day, we're going to install for about 14 straight here, so it's going to be a lot of distribution.
Do you hope for them to pay a bigger impact in this season?
I think they got a chance to. Yeah, I do. With Jack Villan and Overman coming back, and they can make some plays with the ball. But again, we want to find some balance. We got some guys that can run on the outside. We want to get the ball to the backs different ways than just handing it to them. So we want to spread the wealth.
What critiques do you have for your quarterback group today? What did you see for them? Some of the mistakes that you want to kind of clear up before obviously the season?
Yeah, without totally watching the film, there's going to be some mechanics there. I think there's a couple throws that we could have made, a couple throws we shouldn't have made, that type of thing. But again, that's why you practice, and you're going to put them out there in situations and then watch the tape, learn from it, get a little bit better the next day.
What were some of your,